Welcome back. This is the fourth video in the series of creating a simple to-do list app in LiveCode Create. In the previous videos, we've had a little tour around LiveCode Create and we have created the user interface required for building the simple to-do list. In this video, we're going to start looking at data. So we're going to create a new collection, which we'll look at in just a moment, and then we're going to bind some of our objects to that collection so that when there is data inside that collection, it will show in those objects. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into the collections area. Now that is currently the third icon down in this left hand side, the data collections icon. And as you can see, we've got no collection set up. Now this is essentially your cloud backend. This is where we'll construct a table and we'll put fields within that table, and this is where the data for your LiveCode Create app will live and can be managed. So if we click New Collection, and we're going to give it a collection name, it's To-Do List. Name it what you like. I'm going to call it To-Do List, and press Continue. Okay, so we're now inside the new collection builder. This is where we're actually going to build the table. So first of all, we need a field name. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a title. So this is going to be the title of our to-do list. And the data type for this is text. The data type for all of the fields that we'll be adding today is text. So add to table. You can see it's appeared in the table down here. The next one we're going to need is description. So you'll remember that these match basically the fields that we created in the user interface on the edit and add task screens. So again, that is going to be text, and we'll add that to the table. And finally, we want to add category, and that is again text, and we'll add that to the table. So we can see that we've got our collection table down here. If we go ahead now, and this is everything we need, so we can go ahead now and create our collection. And we get a little notification that our collection has been created, and here we have it. We've got our collection table, currently has no records in it. So far so good. Let's now have a look at data binding. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to navigate to the My Tasks screen. So you go to the project browser and double click on My Tasks. And again, you'll know you're in the My Tasks screen because you see it up here. Now, what we want to do is when we add a new to-do list item via the forms that we set up on these other pages, we want the data for that to appear in here. Now that data will get sent to our collection, so we need to bind this to that collection. So I'm going to first of all in edit mode, click on the simple list. Now there's one thing that's just caught my eye, which we'll just tidy up while we're here, and it is this right section, ellipsis vertical. It's not really something that we want it to show. We're going to put that as mark as complete, and that'll become more clear later. So if you want to go ahead and make that change while we're in here, that's something I've just spotted. Okay, great. Now let's go ahead and look at the data binding. So it's the bottom section within the property inspector for the simple list. Okay, so what this is asking me to do is asking me which collection I would like to bind this simple list to. Now we only have one, so I'm going to bind it to our to-do list collection. Now you can see there's various sections here which could be bound to data, but some of them don't need to be bound to data. Some of for this specific example, we only need to bind title and subtitle. We're not using the left section, and the right section is fixed, as in we always want it to be mark as complete. So for the title, I'm going to bind that to our title field in the to-do list collection. You can see everything's now disappeared, but that is correct because we have nothing in that collection at the moment. And for the subtitle, we're going to bind that to category. Okay, that is although things looks like they've taken a step backwards, they certainly haven't. That sets us up perfectly for the next video, when we'll be adding actions to be able to add items to the collection. Now, there's one other thing that we need to do with regards to data binding, is we need to go into our edit tasks screen. You do that by double clicking in the project browser. Okay, so the reason we want to bind these fields is, in the next video, what we're going to do is, when we click on one of the rows, we're going to ask it to come to this page and show the data of that row in here, and this will allow us to edit a specific task. So we need these fields to be bound to our collection, and then we'll navigate to this page and we'll go to the record of the row that was clicked. So let's just go ahead and data bind these. So to-do list, and I want this to be bound to the title and description. I want this to be bound to the description and the drop down, which I should have given a better label to, but we'll ignore that for just now. We want to bind that to our category. All right, that is everything for setting up the data. I think we should all just take the chance now to save our project. So if you go up to the top section here, the drop down, and then press save, and you'll see the little snack bar appear down here letting you know that your project has been saved. Next up is the final video. It'll be a little bit more involved, as we'll be creating actions for all different parts of the app, and we'll actually run the app to see the simple to-do list working. Thanks everybody, and see you in the next and final video.